So, Ankit, let's move on in the interest of time. Obviously, I'll be probing you more, during the course of this session. So, tell me about a difficult situation or a big challenge that you faced. Just one challenge that you faced, in your career of 21 years.
So, okay, let me tell you about a challenge that most career professionals face, and I also faced it, right? When I was having my first kid. Okay. Now, many a times, these are life-changing moments, by the way, right? You in consulting, right? You're talking about working with many clients. You're selling, you're delivering, you're building a practice around you. You're trying to make everyone successful. It's trying to make your family successful, right? You didn't have your first baby. The first question which comes to your mind is, how can I sustain a lifestyle like this, right? Where
Work-life balance.
I'm so passionate about my work. I know what's coming my way. I need to now start thinking about how do I shift some of my time towards my kid, my family. I mean, it's not that I was not spending time with my wife. I mean, both of us were equally busy, and we used to have binge trips. But with kids, you can't have binge trips, right? I mean, you have to plan things, and a lot of and these things you don't know much. You start uncovering. It's like peeling the onion. Once your first baby is born, so you start peeling the onion. So at that point of time, the first thought which comes to anyone's mind is, how do I do this, right? And it wasn't easy for me. I was fortunate enough to have partners and directors whom I worked with in Deloitte, who actually gave me that space and mentorship and guidance. To an effect that, they used to kick me out of the client location at 4 p.m. every day, saying, go home. We'll talk to you at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. This is your moment, right? Spend the 4-5 hours, blank out your calendars. It doesn't matter. Life will go on. Everybody in client will understand. And being a person who I am, I was never shy of sharing my thoughts and feelings. It's an important aspect. Not everybody is comfortable. I understand that but I think there are positives and negatives as well. A lot of people fear, if I'm going to tell people about my shortcomings, it might be used against me. And there are people who use it, by the way. But at the same time, don't worry about them. You worry about yourself. The moment you express your limitations, your ecosystem, you'll be surprised how your ecosystem comes to your support, right? It is not only your bosses, it is your peers, it is your juniors. They will come to your support. They'll be so happy that you share something with them, right? So this is one moment, right, where I think it's important to have an ecosystem, to find an ecosystem which supports your work-life balance. Number 2, it is not about work-life balance. It's about work-life integration. Okay, and I know when people hear this, they will some will smile, some will say sigh, right? But it's okay. See, what I mean by work-life integration is you should segregate your work time and personal time, but do not segregate the ecosystem so much that they don't know what's happening on the other side.
Right.
Your family, your kids need to know who are the players, who's the cohort you work with, right? My kids know everyone who I work closely with. My wife knows everyone, they know their names. They feel comfortable calling them as well. So you extended your ecosystem of not only professional, trying to get to a friendly zone. So they are all aware what you're doing collectively, right? How you're trying to make a difference. I make sure that I meet the families of the ecosystem, they meet our families, etc. It has gone a very long way. It's not something now which has done right now. It started long back. I mean, maybe 10, 15 years back when I was a manager, right? And since those days, this is something again I learned. By the way, nobody comes naturally with it. You see others doing it. I've seen other partners within Deloitte do it, and I thought there was a lot of meaning to it, right?
Yeah.
And it has helped me immensely. So this is one thing I would say. It's a difficult moment in everyone's life. Think about work-life integration, integrating the two ecosystems, keeping time aside, dedicated time for the families and professional work as well. Everybody understands, right? People will make. And the second aspect to it is never be an information hoarder. Okay, be a information dissipator. Try to grow as many people around you as possible. the fundamental principle which I have lived as a in my firm, I've learned from my partners, and as a partner, I live by the fundamental principle is the more people I grow in their careers, the more successful I am. I want to, promote as many people to get me out of my job, so that I get into a more uncomfortable position when I am seeking for better and different things to do. That helps in making sure that when you want to take time off, there are other people who can seamlessly take care of what you do.
Right. That's a very good point.
So today, anytime, if I have an emergency, I don't have to worry. I have to call some of my gladiators, my ninjas on my team.
Right.
It's about a 5-minute conversation. You absolutely will take care of it. Now that takes effort and time, and from both sides, right? So it's an important aspect. It's a difficult time in everyone's life, but this is how I've tried to manage it as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. So the challenge that you faced, you're saying, is a typical challenge that professionals in the consulting world face because of the demanding nature of the job, which is to strike work-life balance. And what you're saying is, it's not about work-life balance. You can't really separate out these two elements so much that you can work in silo. You need a work-life integration. And that that thought that I think it's wonderfully narrated by you. In fact, I think about a year or two ago, I remember Satya Nadella from Microsoft saying that it's no longer about work-life balance, it's about work-life harmony. And that's exactly what you're saying, like work-life integration. So there has to be, work is your passion, right? I mean, and it's not like you can unplug your passion just like that. So you have to bring it into your life, but in such a way that it doesn't overrule it. And you're able to do that with the help of your support system. The second point that you made is also a wonderful point, because I get this question a lot as a mentor. Professionals come to me, Sushant, is it worth sharing your knowledge with others? Okay, because they fear that if they share their knowledge, if they dissipate the knowledge, then somebody else will eventually take over the job. So there is that job insecurity feeling, and you said it. And my advice is the same as you said. Don't hold information or knowledge, dissipate it, share it, because when you share it, the world will know that there is somebody here who is an expert in that area. And at the same time, the advantage is that when others know, they can help you out, in times of difficulty, when you're not able to spare time for a particular activity, they can help you out, right? So that's what you're saying. Dissipation is the key here. Information dissipation. Don't hold knowledge. Keep evolving. You grow bigger and bigger, but at the same time, keep sharing knowledge. Am I right in saying that?
Yep, absolutely.
Wonderful. Great messages, Ankit. Wonderful. I mean, I think even I am learning, and I'm sure my audience will learn as well. Wonderful. So let me ask another question. I'm sure the audience here will be curious how to build your career in a consulting firm so that you can reach a pinnacle position like a partner. So tell me about the biggest turning point in your life that put you on a partner path, and you became a partner at a very young age. So what was that, one or two turning points actually, or turning moments?
I think there are many actually, but let me try to slim it down to one or two. So I think the first thing is, there was a moment, I was a manager from those days and trying to become a senior manager, and my ecosystem wasn't was still trying to think whether. So one principle which my seniors or mentors over the years, and by the way, I don't have one or two, I have many. I have 30-40 mentors whom I work with, whom I stay connected with, because I strongly believe that there's a lot to learn from many people, and everybody has different aspects, and you yourself have different aspects. You cannot copy someone. You have to be your own self, right? And you can look at attributes which you like about them and see how you can vibe in your journey. Right? Now, so there was a moment in my career when there was a client in Seattle, and there was a workshop, and the partner and director and everyone, somebody felt sick, somebody had a family issue, and they had no one to go there who had context, right? And I got a phone call on a Sunday night. Hey, Ankit, none of us can go. Are you comfortable going for this workshop? Absolutely. So yeah, why not? I mean, and these are the opportunities which you can't seek for. This is like, while you're seeking, people know that you're seeking, but Since people know they're seeking, they'll reach out to you. But if you don't seek, they will not reach out to you, right? So they knew that I was seeking. They felt comfortable in giving me that opportunity, and I felt good, right? That they did ask me. So I went there. Monday morning, Sunday night, I stumbled, got whatever flight I wanted, like I could get, right? Monday morning, I was there. Workshop was on Tuesday and Wednesday. I did not know anyone in that ecosystem other than that I had worked this client in a different capacity with a different team. I knew the business of the client. Now, this was a different business unit. There was email exchanges that I'll be coming there for the workshop, etc. 2 days, and 2 days, and I was back with a big contract. Right? It was a signed contract, and I will tell you that actually changed the table within the firm in terms of the way they perceive my abilities. Because till that time I was seeking, I was telling them I can do it, give me an opportunity, etc. Right? And they were involving me a little bit here, a little bit there, taking to the clients. But this was independent, right?
You closed it independently.
Yeah, there was a sense of accomplishment. There was a sense of pride. They had a sense of pride as well, and that to me was the first changing moment, not only for the firm but for myself. The confidence which it got into me, right? Given the opportunities that you can make a change. Now, I'll tell you what worked there. 3 things. One is your own passion, right? Passion to make the client successful. If you have the passion to make anyone successful, right? You will intently listen to their values, right? What they're trying to solve. The second is you need to know the art of collaboration. Okay, you need to understand the art of building relationship, using your strong point, using your strengths, and do not bullshit. Be real. What you don't know, you don't know. Don't be too salesy, right? You get and prepare for the content what you're going for, right? You have to be deep in whatever area and career you are in. You have to continue digging deeper into whatever area you're passionate about. Right? Learning never stops. You have to continuously learn. When you go for such an event, you have to read, you have to learn, you have to prepare. Do not just go, hey, I know everything, I can manage it, you know what, etc. Right? Try to think of things that can come your way which you're not good at or you haven't thought about. So what I did the previous night, I gave a call. I had a 2-hour call with this partner with previously managers. What has been your learning in these workshops? How does it typically work, right? How have you navigated? So I had a sense of idea. I took my own notes, which I prepared for it. But then out there, when you're on your own, you think on your feet. Okay, you bring your mojo out. Do not hesitate in getting your mojo out. You do not know how and when, because when those meetings start, when no one knows you, everybody's looking at you, trying to judge you. By the afternoon, you've broken the ice. By the end of the day, you have completely broken the ice. Next day, listening to your ideas. First day, you listen to them. Right? That's how you work out in any scenario. That was my first turning point in my mind. And after that, I think it was no-brainer, right? The career just
took off. Yeah. I think what you're alluding to, though you have not used that word, is like, you have if you want to grow into a leadership role in a consulting firm, like a partner level role, you have to master the art of solution-based selling or consultative selling. That's a word that's commonly used, and that starts with showcasing your passion for the problem that you're solving, showcasing your passion in making the client successful. Right, that's your point number one. And then taking the collaborative approach. It's not about a sales. You should not come across as a sales guy, but as a solution provider, right? So you're more of a collaborator, and then obviously the preparation. Okay. So the turning point, just to come back to the turning point, was this big opportunity that came your way. Okay, the partners were willing to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was one, Sushant. I think second one, which is slightly different.
Please.
And I do want to highlight it, right?
Yeah.
So this was after I came to India, right? Again, I had come to an ecosystem which I was completely not known in, right? Trust me, it took me 2 years to build that vibrancy in the ecosystem grounds up.
I see.
Right? There was, and that happens when you start engaging with every level within the firm, right? You're trying to make the analyst successful, the consultant successful, the senior consultant, manager. How? By engaging them in different opportunities, be it sales, be it delivery, be it hanging out with them, etc. Within 2 years, there was so much vibrancy in the system. Now you start sharing that you are not doing with that intent. but you're doing with an intent to grow the firm and yourself.
Right.
Now the partnership then naturally happens,
Mm.
right? Then you start hearing when you do something with so much passion and intent, then you start hearing the feedback from the ecosystem that, dude, what you have done, what hasn't happened in for a while, right? And there's a strong bottom-up support where people want to see you in that leadership role. So that is another. So while the top-down view is important, the bottom-up view is extremely important. You are, after all, a human, right?
Right.
You're not a robot. You can only do so many things in a day, and you need to have those gladiators, that ninja, that army behind you, who will help you, who are invested in making you successful, and you are invested in making them successful. So I think these 2 points in my mind, were extremely important. When I started hearing the feedback back, it's working, right? Those 2 points, just I think is extremely important in anyone's career. It's formidable in my career to my partner journey in the firm.
Got it. So one is, just to summarize what you have said, one is this wonderful opportunity that came across your way, where you got a chance to meet with the client and deal with the client and close the client independently, right? That's a big opportunity, and that changed the way the firm, the senior leadership looked at you. Second is, you're saying you put in enough time and effort to build a grassroots level support, build this army of supporters who could actually, who were aspiring to see you as a leader, right? So that also, the bottoms up approach and the top down approach, both of them contributed to you embarking on that fast paced path to becoming a partner. Am I right in saying that?
Absolutely, and I aspire, and now I'm aspiring to see all of them as leaders as well. So
Wonderful.
it's investment that goes both ways in my mind.
Wonderful, excellent. It's been a wonderful conversation so far. As I said, even I am learning, and I'm sure like my audience, who are very aspirational, mid-career, early career, and mid-career working professionals, as well as graduates, I'm sure they will learn a lot from your experience.